Good morning, boys and girls of the internet. Today is Saturday, June 9th, 2019. So vlog number 159. And I wanted to, I don't want to talk about this, but it is a topical subject, and it is something that's good to be a point of discussion. In terms of the recent news of a couple of celebrity suicides. Earlier in the week, and earlier in the week, we lost a fashion designer, Kate Spade, and then yesterday, we lost Anthony Bourdain, chef and food critic. And it kind of just brings the subject of suicide kind of to the forefront, a little bit more than it usually is. Stuff like this isn't easy to talk about no matter what. Me, when it comes to celebrities, I'm not a celebrity file. I don't really, worry about them too much, other than if they were people who, and very few have, impacted my life. I'm not a big celebrity file. So when a celebrity just passes away from natural causes, or say if an accident, or unfortunately in this day and age drug overdose or something, or some kind of drug issue, it's all tragic. Don't get me wrong, it's all tragic, but not many of them hit me all that hard. It's just like, well, that sucks. Move on with my day. There's a few in a couple of years that has bothered me. For example, Robin Williams. He committed suicide. He was battling demons, and not many people knew about. So that came as a shocker. He's, of the few celebrities that I idolized. I idolized Robin Williams. Now, when it comes to the subject of suicide itself, nobody knows what people are dealing with. That's, for damn sure. You can assume what people are dealing with, but you don't always know all the time. And you don't know the depth of it, usually. Could be quite deep, in terms of the hidden battles that individuals are doing, with themselves. For example, take me. I don't really mention this all this much. In fact, I hardly ever said this to anybody, so almost nobody knows about this. When I was younger, my late teens, early 20s, I can't really pinpoint when, but I've had a long number of years where, I wasn't exactly, super depressed or anything, but there were times where I thought, my job sucks. I was working crappy, part-time retail jobs. I always thought that, I'm not getting anywhere. I was young. I was still, out of high school, about to start college and stuff. I was feeling lonesome many times. I was never lucky with the ladies, even till today. So there was very fleeting. Don't get me wrong, this is very, very fleeting. There was a couple of instances where I've contemplated suicide. Contemplated. Very, I want to emphasize that, because I never really got closer than contemplating it. Thoughts in my head going, well, people really miss me if I'm gone. Does anybody really care? Things like that. And like I said, they were very fleeting, because when I was contemplating it, I kind of had the mindset that, even though I was thinking these things about, oh, no one will really miss me, blah, 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 the logical part of me kicked in. And at that point, I kind of was like, you know what? Suicide is kind of selfish. Because who benefits from it? Nobody. Literally nobody really benefits from suicide other than yourself. It's a very selfish act in that you're gone. Yeah, if you're suffering a lot. Yeah, if you have so many inner demons and you just don't want to deal with it anymore. I understand. I completely understand. Don't get me wrong. I believe in the right to life. As in, you have a right to do with your life whatever you want. So I also believe that you have a right to take your life if you wish it. No matter what you're going through, if you're done with it, I have a belief that you should be able to take your life legally, safely, without suffering, hopefully. But again, in the end, all you're really doing, yes, you're ending your suffering. Which I guess, say like an animal, you put an animal down, they're suffering, and you want to be able to help them by ending their suffering. So I get that. So, but in the whole thing, I realize, and it took me many years to realize this, especially when I became a believer of what I believe. I have no reason to believe in any God or any afterlife or a really bright sun. I consider myself an atheist. That being said, a couple of years ago, actually, also many years ago, listening to a podcast from a very good speaker on matters of faith and lack of faith and whatnot. One of the things that they keep reiterating about life is people say, oh, how can you value life? Well, when you don't have faith in a God or anything of that nature, an afterlife, reincarnation, whatever, in fact, we all know, because we have no proof otherwise. Sorry. We have no proof to the contrary that we have any other life than this one. This is the only life that we get. We are lucky to have the lives that we get. And we are lucky that through the long process of evolution and learning and developing a society and getting to where we are today, that we are in the position that we are in, that we have our intelligence, we have human emotion, we have morality, we have ambitions, we have loved ones. Now that's where it really comes down to, our loved ones. When you take your own life, which you're fully welcome to do. You're taking the only thing that you have that you know you only have one of in, however long you're living. Really, when you look at it that way, you really should be somebody who, or at least strive to be someone who cherishes every day that you're alive and lives life like it's your last. Anything can happen, in the next 5 minutes, later on today, tomorrow, whatever. Every day could be your last day. And a lot of times that's out of your hands. But when you put your own life in your own hands, you are giving up the only gift that you have, that you know you have. The greatest gift that you have is living. Once again, if that gift of life, you're suffering a lot, and you don't want to deal with it anymore, and you're pretty much at your wit's end, really, where it will be better for you to not be suffering anymore. You're well within your right to end your life, and I accept that. So, in regards to the few celebrity deaths that we had, what the hell was that noise? They're all tragedies. Don't get me wrong; they're very, very tragic. Who knows what these people, Anthony Bourdain, Kate Spade, we don't know what they're dealing with. I never knew what they're dealing with. Apparently, Anthony Bourdain, many years ago, I didn't know this, he had a drug problem. He apparently got sober, but yet somehow, I didn't do too much reading into this, but he was still battling with those kind of demons. Kate Spade, I don't think she ever had a drug problem, but she definitely had depression and, having a hard life. All I will say, though, if you are suffering, if you think that you're at the end of your ropes, you can't deal with things anymore, think about what you're really giving up and kind of weigh, almost in a logical way, weigh your amount of suffering as opposed to who will suffer after you're gone. Most people, if they have a family, if they have friends, if they have loved ones, for almost the rest of their life, they will wonder, what could I have done differently to save them? Especially if it's a suicide that no one really saw coming. Now, if you have a planned suicide and you tell everybody, that's different. You can kind of discuss things. But if you just end your life without anybody knowing the reasons why, these people will be questioning for the rest of their lives what they could have done to save you or to try to reach out to help you. It's like, oh, maybe if I could have picked up the phone and given them a call, or if I could have, went to their house and said, hi, hey, what's going on? And talk to me, what's going on in your life, or anything. All I'm really saying is, if you are really contemplating it, you really should talk to somebody. talk to someone you care about. I know it's very difficult. It's difficult for me. I've never really spoke to anybody about what I've dealt with. It has been, for me, it's been many, 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 many years since I've felt anything like that. Even when, like, only about 8 years ago, I went through the worst depression of my life, my worst heartbreak in my life. At that point, I was already at a level where, in my mind, suicide was selfish and it was never something to consider. So I didn't even consider it, even at the worst heartbreak of my life. Because I knew that, hey, life goes on. It was hard to get over. It took me a long time to get over it. But life went on. At that same time, I never really talked to anybody about it. Even, what I went through way back a long time ago. Because it's hard to talk about. Even if you talk to a therapist or talk to someone like online, maybe that's easier. Unfortunately, online could be a little difficult because there's assholes out there who they don't give a shit. They don't see you. They don't know you, and they might say, just go kill yourself." Oh, that's very bad. It could be very bad. So, talk to people you trust at least. That's the least you can do before you consider ending the only gift that you have in life. It's a great gift. No matter what you believe, no matter if you think there is an afterlife or not, whether you think there's gods or not, whether you think there's something better out there. The only thing you can know for sure that this is what you have now. So cherish it. That's it. Cherish this. Hopefully I didn't depress you. Talk to somebody, call somebody if you're depressed. And, everybody have a good day. I'll talk to y'all later. I do love you very much. Bye.